this is gonna offend people, but I don't mind. So I remember one time one girl was like, "Oh, these girls and these hoes that always get flown out, blah blah blah." And I said, "Has anybody ever asked you to fly out?" She goes, "No." So I said, "Then don't talk because you haven't reached that situation yet." When you hold on to people's issues, or people's problems and your ego, this is what happens. So this person pissed you off, You're gonna carry this and walk around with this, The next person pissed you off. You're gonna carry. You're not gonna carry this, The next person who pissed you off now, you're now carrying this.
Yeah.
You're walking around with all of these problems that people have. Or you have with other people. And this person's cracking on with their day.
Yeah.
You're walking around with all of this shit waiting for someone to apologise to you. This person is getting on with their day.
No, I don't want an apology.
But that's what people are looking for. All the time you're holding people's problems and you're upset. This is what you're just walking around like this.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk about. I've been in that situation where I don't know if it was depression or not, but I've been very sad. And let me ask you something, maybe you can figure this out.
Go on.
How many people do you reckon in the UK was killed in 2023? How many people would you reckon? And I think I already said the number, but if you had a guess, remember we've got 365 days in the year. How many people would you say were killed in 2023? How many people would you say? So how many people a day would you reckon are killed?
I don't know, maybe like 50 a day, something like that.
50 a day is a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a lot.
So 5 a day.
Is it?
No, that's not actually that bad actually. It's not a lot. So how many would you say in 2023? You say 50 a day, you reckon?
Yeah, maybe like 50 a day.
Okay, so 50 a day, so that's 50 times 365. Let's see what that works out to be. 50 times 365, that's 18,000 people.
Yeah.
No.
No?
So basically, just under 600 people were killed.
Is that it?
That's it. 600.
What? That's including knife crime, gun crime,
according to the
hit and run.
Yeah, according to the ONS, there were 590 victims of homicide in 2023.
That's domestic violence. That's everything.
590. So when you calculate 590,
are we doing well?
Yeah, divided by 365, that's basically 1.6 people. 1.6 people every day. So that's 600. How many people do you think kill themselves every year?
Probably more.
How many? So we've got 600 for homicides. How many suicides do you reckon?
At least 3 times that.
So you're saying roughly what? 1,800?
Yeah.
Nah, it's 6,000.
6,000.
So you're basically 9 times more likely to kill yourself than you are to be killed by someone else.
Yeah. It makes sense though.
9 times.
Yeah.
So you're more of a hazard to yourself than someone else is to you.
So mostly men under 45, isn't it?
Yes, mostly men. So men are 3 times more
I get
likely.
it though. Have you ever had a bad day and you're like, yeah, this is why men jump off bridges? I get it.
Do you know what it is though? I tell you what it is for me is that I
say it all the time.
But the only problem with my bad days is that I have so much better days to look forward to, and that's why I'm very mindful because I'm excited to wake up. And I think this particular period, they call it season affective disorder, where they call it SAD, where a lot of people sink into depression between this period up till about February. Sometimes it's to do with Christmas, sometimes it's to do with money, sometimes it's, for instance, the clocks are going to go back now, isn't it, on Saturday?
Something like that, yeah.
So now you got to remember now, people are going to wake up in the dark.
Is it this week or the following week?
I think it's this Saturday, maybe it's next Saturday.
Might be following week.
Okay, so people are going to wake up in the dark, go to work and leave when it's dark. So people are not going to experience daylight for a very long time. Especially if you work like in the underground or work somewhere where there isn't natural light. You're literally just going to be waking up to darkness, going back home to darkness. It rains. It's a bad period. And when you think about the numbers, people don't talk about it on the news, but to think that we're scaremongered with drill music, stabbings and that, don't get me wrong, it's still a bad thing. But to compare 600 people to 6,000 people is mental. Like it's mad, and that's the biggest battle is ourselves. And there was times when I didn't want to wake up, but I have bad days, but I enjoy waking up. Like I've got a lot to look forward to, which doesn't let me sink into depression. You know, and I think I'm not saying you have to find your purpose. I'm not going to lie to you. For me, money is most of my problems are money. And when people try to downplay resources and finances, don't get me wrong, you can have other issues like your health. You can have other issues like your family. But more time, money can't solve every problem, but
can fix most of them. Like if you got money, every day is summertime.
Yeah, you can shut a lot of your problems up with money.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to talk from a position of privilege, but you know, a lot of the problems can be smoothened out with money. You know, like you might have a bad day. You know, it's probably better to cry in your car than on a bus.
Facts.
Sounds bad, you know, but I think, as we always say, the battle's in the mind, and I'm not that don't want to sound like I'm doing some Plato, Socrates kind of speech, but once you lose it mentally, you're finished.
Yeah. Once you lose yourself, you lose everything. But that's
You're
what I'm saying.
finished.
That's what I'm saying. Mentally, physically, everything. If you're drowning, if you're struggling, you can't bear the burden of your mum's problems, your dad's problems, all that stuff.
But life is a burden. I don't think life is meant to be smooth.
That's not a burden.
That is, man.
It's not a chore to live.
Huh?
It's not a chore to live.
You
Life's
got
not
work
a
to
burden.
live.
Huh?
You got work to live.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Most people, but I get that. But at the same time, there's a lot of joy in life.
For example,
You want me to give examples of things that are good in life?
give me an example of joy in life, the joys of life.
I don't know. You seem to go on a lot of holidays, and I'm sure there's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of.
because I can afford to do that.
But there's joy.
And
There's
I
joy.
bought myself time back.
There's joy in everything, and I
Look at
find.
the average person. Do you think the average person is enjoying life?
See, I'm gonna say something. I think it's by choice. Like your perspective shapes the world around you. So how you are internally is how you see the world. So if you're bad and you see things bad about yourself internally and everything in your head is negative, all the world is gonna be negative. Like if you close your eyes now, right, and I tell you to open your eyes and find the color blue, right, and tell me how many things that are blue in the world, you're going to be like, oh, there was this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing, this thing. And it works the same when you look at positives and negatives. If I'm only seeing negatives in my mind, in myself and everything, I see negative around me. Like there's a lot of times, especially like with business and stuff, and I hate linking it to business, but it works in so many avenues. So when I'm in a bad mood and like I'm like, oh, nothing's going well for me, it's all bad, there's no money, I don't see money, I don't see opportunities, money doesn't come to me. But when I'm in a positive mood and I'm outgoing, do you know what I mean? Like I tend to fall into money, I'm happier, I attract more good things. And it's like I don't want to be all spiritual with it, because I don't think it's that. I think it's how you kind of operate, like because for example, like with Chizzo and his bar, he says sometimes the staff they look angry or they look sad. And then I can see as a business owner that would make people spend less, because people want to spend in positive environments and stuff like that. Yeah. So the happier you are, I think the happier the world around you will be.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge is overcoming yourself to be able to be.
I think where the problem lies with happiness is when we start comparing things. So for instance, you know, and I hate using Nigeria as an example, but you can go to parts of Nigeria where a lot of children don't have much, but they're happy because that's all they know. Do you know what I mean? If you don't know that you're meant to have a ceramic bowl inside a room that you flush and it goes somewhere, you're going to think that the little hole in the ground that you let stuff go into is how it's meant to be. And I think it's when you start comparing. But I think is anything wrong with looking at someone else's situation and saying, yeah, that looks good, I want to get there? I
don't think there's anything wrong with wanting more. I think it's men's natural desire to want more. Men have conquered the world for years. Like you've got like Genghis Khan and all them, man, like they used to ride miles and miles to go pillage a next village just because they wanted more. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a natural thing to just want more. I don't think that's a problem.
Is it selfish to hoard?
Is it selfish to hoard? I would say so.
At what point is it selfish? For instance, because money is just the exchange of things. That's all it is. Yeah. If you saw I had a field, with say 100 cows, and then there's like a neighbouring village who's got no cows, and let's say this neighbouring village comes and like, yo, like we're starving over here, you know, like, can you give us some cows? They're like, no, I'm going to need some cows for that rainy day. If that neighbouring village decides to come and pillage and take some of the cows, is it morally wrong?
It's morally wrong. It's not yours, but at the same time, there's a battle of ethics there, because one, if you have an abundance of things, I believe you should share. I don't believe you should give more than you want to give. I believe you should give what you feel you're able to spare, because there's nothing wrong with you having, but I feel like there's a problem with you having and someone else not having at all.
Because you could argue that, because I don't think money is just an exchange. Yeah. Which means if someone's got, like, say, I don't know, £1 million. Yeah. Or say, I don't know, 186 million pounds. Yeah. That's just money, but that could buy resources. Yeah. If that person hoarding by wanting to hold on to all of that money, because let's just use it the equivalent of cows or horses, or let's say we just made the equivalent of where this guy has got, I don't know, 7 properties that no one's living in. Yeah. But it's my properties.
I think it's very case specific, because you've got people that only think about themselves, and you've got people that think of everyone but themselves. So if you're saying the person only cares about themselves, they only do things for them, they live a very selfish life, and they've got 10 properties, rare. I personally believe morally they should give. Personally. It all comes down to ethics.
But when people say that, I would say that, what are you giving with the little you have? Because sometimes you all have the people that preach about the millionaires giving money, and I would say you that's there. Yeah. How much are you giving? That's what I always say, that, you know, we live in a world full of hypocrites. Meaning this, and I always say that, find me someone who says I'm not a hypocrite, and you would have found a liar also. So I give an example. You often find people will say, oh, so it's going to offend people, but I don't mind. So I remember one time one girl was like, oh, these girls and these hoes that always get flown out, blah, blah, blah. And I said, has anybody ever asked you to fly out? She goes, no. So I said, then don't talk, because you haven't reached that situation yet. You're talking about I would never do it. Has anyone ever asked you? No. You get guys who will say that I've never been robbed before. Have you ever had anything worth robbing? I just want to know. Have you? Because when we talk about these certain things, I want to know, have you been in that situation, that environment where it happens to you? You know, I remember there was one lady that was on Twitter one time when she was talking about women dressing a certain way, always showing their body. The moment this woman lost weight, her whole page changed. Everything was skin. People that say they'll never do plastic surgery. Can you afford to do plastic surgery? Do you have the money to get your teeth done? Do you have the money to get your bum done? Do you have the money to get your boobs done? A lot of the situations people talk about, they're not in that scenario to do it. In the same way, it always tends to be the guys with no money who complain about gold diggers. You get guys who will talk about, Kim Kardashian's a hoe, I'll never wife her. Let me put you in the same room as Kim Kardashian. Go and get her number. Go on. No. Cool. Let me put you in the same venue as Kim Kardashian. I want you to move to her and I want to see whether she gives you a number. Assuming she was single at the time. Or whatever some of the scenarios we put ourselves in and we talk about. You're not in, you're just a hypocrite. You're just contradicting yourself. Because some of the situations, especially the one when this girl was like, yeah, all these girls that get flown out, or these girls just table hop. Has anybody ever invited you to on a table before? You, that girl that's dissing girls to go on tables. Has a guy ever asked you to go on their table? Not because of your buff friend, that you're on the table because of your buff friend. You, Penelope. Has a guy ever invited you on that table? In the same way guys are like, yeah, I'll never fly out chicks. Do you have money to fly out girls? Would a girl even fly out on you? When that DM comes in, is it going to be read or does it stay on the right hand side with the request? So a lot of the times we moan about these, that's why I just chill out, because some of the things that I say, oh Gabe, would you do this? I say, not at this moment, I wouldn't. Someone says, oh Gabe, would you do OnlyFans? At this moment in my life, I wouldn't. If I'm broke and I need to do tada, I might put on one of the Bane masks. You might know from this finger that it's me. This finger that got chopped off. You might know and plot the finger like, hey, that's Gabriel. A lot of things people say they might and won't do, it's maybe because you're not in that situation. When your back is against the wall and everything is going wrong, you might just go and join Chocolate City and let them pour baby oil in your head. You know? You might go Costco and buy a pack of baby oil. So some of the times when people moan about things and say they wouldn't do this and do that, you're speaking from a position of privilege. That's why you say that. More time. That's why I gave those simple scenarios when guys said they've never been robbed before. Have you ever had anything worth robbing? Oh, I would never do this, I'd never do that. Oh, I'll never get flown out. Have you ever been DM'd by a guy to fly you out? Have you ever had the option to say no? I wonder. Because some of the things we say we wouldn't do, same when it comes to surgery. I'll never go Turkey to get my hair done. Okay, can you afford to do that?
But the thing is, a majority of the things that you're saying are only applicable to like the 1% of people.
No.
In the sense of meeting Kim K, full stop, having a Rolex, flying out to like all this extravagant stuff is only applicable to the 1% of people. So let's say the 99%, their lives are boring. So why would I not why would I not live in my head when my reality is crap?
No, but there's. Do
you know what I'm saying?
But if you look at the trailer conversation, it's about.
I know what you're saying.
Given.
I know what you're saying.
And I'm like, what are you doing with the little you've got?
I get what
the
you're
little
saying.
you've got, what you do? Because we're all hypocrites.
I get what you're saying.
And we always give the best advice when we're not in that situation. I give the
saying.
best advice. You see, when I'm in that situation and my head's gone and the Birmingham accent sounds French, it's all gone.
I get what you're saying.
Like, it's just what it is, isn't it? And I just think, until you're in that scenario and situation and you've actually gone through the situation and not done the opposite, just like, we all took a good game. You know, I'm here sitting looking at a camera. It's therapy for me. I like to just get it off my chest. I spend an hour of a week just getting some things off my chest, and it feels good. I'm cracking with my day. It's just like going to the gym. This is like the gym for me. Because we all just, bottom line is we're gonna die anyway. What does it matter? And I don't believe in an afterlife. I know some people do. I just think when you die, you die. There's no evidence to suggest that I'm gonna meet somebody in heaven. I just don't get the whole idea of there being some paradise where when you die, you're gonna go and see your uncles and aunts. I don't want to see some uncles and aunts, to be fair. That's not heaven to me, if they're back there again. Like, you left early. Like, now I'm going to see you again to torment me. I don't know what, that whole heaven and hell concept has always baffled me. Like, you live in a finite world, yet the punishments are infinite. So let's say you've lived 40 years. What, can you not just torture me for 40? Like, why am I getting tortured forever? Like, can we not do, can we have some kind of barometer or measurement for this, please? It just doesn't make sense. And when you think about all these different, you look at the Abrahamic religions, where you've got Judaism, Islam, Christianity. Abraham had 2 sons apparently, Ishmael and Isaac. So we're all basically praising the same God, but we just got different versions to it. And I always ask this very important question: is religion based more on faith or the region you're born in? Maybe we'll continue this conversation in the next episode. Is religion based more on faith or the region you're born in? Meaning this: if you was born in the UAE, are you most likely to be a Muslim or a Christian? If you was born in Italy, are you likely to be a Roman Catholic or a Muslim? Yes, there's nuances and anomalies to it, but I think we know the answer to that. So what is religion based more on? Faith or where you're born? And you got to remember as well, whoever wins the war dictates the argument. Meaning this: remember, we've been enslaved as Africans. If you're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, if we're going to talk about the Ava slave trade, which we'll talk about in the next video, we've been enslaved for much longer. And when you've been enslaved for 500 years and your history isn't wiped away, what do you do with? You know, because I find the afterlife a very interesting question, because even when someone passes away, I remember one time I was at a funeral, and the pastor was preaching, saying that, oh, this person's in a better place, this person's in heaven. You know, and I opened the Bible to my friend and I said, you know, the pastor's lying, right? I said, no one's in heaven at the moment. Everyone's in Hades. Until the trumpet blows, okay, no one's in heaven. It just sounds good, innit? But according to scripture, whoever dies tomorrow or dies today, they're not in heaven. They're in that middle ground. You know, that middle ground, because nothing's happened yet. Until the trumpet blows and Christ comes back again, don't know when he is, according to Christianity, no one's in heaven. So when the pastor says that, oh, someone's in heaven, it's just a pat on the back, it feels good. It doesn't sound nice what I'm saying now. You know, people are going to be like, why is this guy doing this? But, you know, everything's about life. Everything we're doing is technically about this life, and then we're preparing for the afterlife. And I think it's a comfort to think that we'll see other people. And I think the afterlife was something that pacified us to make us accept all the torment and torture that we're having down on earth, because there's going to be somewhere better on the other end. And once again, I'm not arrogant to ever sit here and think I know it all. I don't. So when people ask me about the afterlife, I say I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll never say there is and there isn't. I can suggest what I think there is, and I just think when you die, you die. I don't think there's a next part of life that you're going to meet everybody. Because even when you talk about abortions or people that died at stillbirth, how do we know who they are? How do you don't know what it looked like? Is it good? What, he's just gonna, hey man, I was like, I don't know, seven seconds old, man. Like, I'm your daughter, I'm your son. Like, okay, what? It sounds good. And on that note, bit of food for thought. Have a fantastic day. I'm gone. Got a day to start.
Appreciate and support the channel. The growth at the moment has been quite good. The Chisel Extra, please keep on liking, sharing, subscribing on that channel. We've got what, like 6k subs now?
Yeah, almost
like
6k,
the past 2 months. So yeah, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. I've been seeing all the notifications day and night when that channel is booming, and we finally got our first 100k video on that channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.